so, to begin this body scan practice, just having a sense of all the points of contact between your body and the floor, the mat, the surface you're lying on. Taking a few deep breaths. Allowing all the weight to drain down into the earth. Back of the head heavy on the pillow. Shoulders, the upper back, the shoulder blades, middle back, and the waist, the hips, the sacrum, the buttocks, and the feet, the backs of the legs if they're touching the pillow, and your feet. Feeling all these points of contact, feeling the surface that you're lying on. Allowing all the weight to drain into the earth, body supported by the earth, the whole planet beneath us, perfectly able to take all of your weight, surrendering, giving it up into the earth. And the breath, just noticing your breathing. Movement of the chest, breathing in, breathing out. Rising and falling of the abdomen. To begin with, we bring our attention to the face, the whole of the face, the temperature of the face, the tension, the tone of the skin of the face, and the mouth, jaw slightly open, tongue soft in the mouth. Letting go of any tension around the jaw. And the teeth, the lower teeth and the jaw, and the upper teeth, and the roof of the mouth, and the cheekbones, the eyes, the sockets of the eyes, the lower part, and the cheekbones, and the lower socket of the eye, and the eyeballs themselves, and the muscles of the eye. If you have face pillow or blindfold, noticing the contact between the pressure between the eyeballs and the blindfold. and the eyebrows. Sense of length and smoothness. Smoothing out from the middle to the outside of the eyebrows. And the forehead, the forehead. The broad, smooth expanse of the forehead. Letting go of any frown, any frowning, any tension in these muscles. Any tension between the eyebrows. Broad, smooth expanse of the forehead from the eyebrows to the hairline. To the hairline up to the hair and the top of the head. Top of the head, feeling the top of the head, the very top of the head, and lifting up the whole spinal cord, and then the back of the head, the sides of the head, the ears, to the back of the head, and the hair, feeling the contact of the back of your head on the pillow. Noticing any tension in these muscles. These muscles at the base of the skull, the top of the neck, they work hard to hold the head up against gravity. So making the most of this time to just let them rest, letting go of any tension into the earth. Back of the head soft on the pillow, softening, gently, with the breath. From the back of the head to the neck, having a sense of length at the base of the skull and length at the back of the head. Coming round again to the throat, to the front, the muscles below the jaw, these muscles used in eating and speaking. They go down to the Adam's apple, the hyoid bone, thyroid cartilage. The front of the throat. Letting this be soft, open. An area to do with expression of emotion. They say to be real, the energy of the throat has to be clear and open. Sometimes people have tension, pain here because they stress, they contain emotion here in the throat. So just noticing how this feels, this area, the throat open. Sometimes we may have tension around speaking, thinking of something we want to say, or possible regret about something we have said in the past. Letting it go. From the throat we come down to the chest, the collarbones, this area in the front of the chest, a broadening or widening of the collarbones, the sternum in the center, the upper ribs, the pectoral muscles, the chest muscles. Another area to do with emotion, the upper lungs. Coming around to the back, we feel the shoulder blades and the shoulders in contact with the pillow, with the mat. And these muscles often work very hard, they're short and tight, they hold a lot of tension. It's a stress dump area. So for now, just making the most of letting this time to rest, letting any tension here drain away into the earth. Feeling the contact between your shoulders and your upper back. Feeling the contact between your shoulders, your upper back, and the mat, the pillow you're lying on. Coming to the arms arms and shoulders. I'll talk through both arms, but you might want to do one arm at a time. Feeling the upper arms, the shoulders, the upper arms falling out of the shoulders, the biceps area, the front of the upper arm to the elbow, and at the back, the triceps. Your upper arms may be in contact with the mat or the pillow. And the elbow bone, and from the elbow, the forearms, the extensor muscles. Some people have tension here like a tennis elbow. They have a lot of strain here because they overuse the arm, or a lot of keyboarding or driving, static loading. Just feeling the quality of these muscles and letting them soften, giving up any tension into the earth. From the elbows to the forearms, the backs of the forearms, and noticing how that feels, the fronts of the forearms, to the wrist, the wrists, the fronts of the wrists, the backs of the wrists, and the hands, the backs of the hands, fronts of palms of the hands, and the fingers, the front of the fingers, the backs of the fingers, fingertips, fingernails, the tips of the fingers, if you can feel those. The little finger, little fingers, the backs of the little fingers, the middle, the index fingers, and the thumb, and the web space between the palms and the thumb, the backs of the hands, the tendons, the skin on the backs of the hands, letting the hands be soft, giving up any tension. And the palms, the fronts of the hands, the fleshy parts, has a different feel to the back. More flesh, more muscle. The web space between the thumb and the palms. Noticing any tension in the hands and releasing it, letting it go. Sometimes tension in the hands can be with tension in the mind, clinging to the past, or reaching, grasping to the future, grasping to something in the past. Letting the hands be soft and open. Feeling the sensitivity in the hands, feeling the sensitivity from the palms to the wrists, from the wrists to the forearms, the fronts of the forearms, the elbows in contact with the mat if you're lying on the mat. Your upper arms above the elbow, the triceps, the backs of the upper arms, to the shoulders, the backs of the shoulders. These big muscles at the back of the shoulder. If you're sitting or lying, feeling any contact between the shoulders, the upper back, and the mat. And the breath, noticing the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Chest rising and falling. Ribs also moving at the back as well as the front. The shoulders, the chest, the rising and falling of the chest, the rising and falling of the abdomen. From the chest, we come down the front to the area around the navel, the belly, the soft belly, letting the abdomen be soft. Try to have a sense of this area, the navel and below the navel, maybe feeling a connection between the navel at the front and a point in your lower back, feeling any contact of your lower back on the mat, feeling the solid feeling the whole lower back in contact with the mat. The lower back and the mid-back. The whole breadth of the back. The length of the spine and the spinal cord and vertebral column. And the width of the back. From the shoulder blades down to the waist. The area around the kidneys and below the kidneys. Coming down a little further, we get to the sacrum. This broad triangular bone at the base of the spine. And the sacrum, we come out to the sides into the buttocks, the fleshy, big muscles of the buttocks that support the whole weight of the trunk when we're walking or standing. And the pelvis, the ball of the pelvis, the front of the pelvis, the pelvic floor between the genitals and the anus, the pelvic floor muscles in the middle. And to the sides, the legs, the big muscles of the thighs, the legs, the thighs at the front, the quadricep muscles, round to the sides, and the hamstrings at the back, the backs of the thighs. Feeling any contact between the backs of your thighs and the mat of the table. If you have a pillow under your knees, feeling the contact between the backs of your legs and the pillow. To the knees and the backs of the knees. Noticing how the big muscles of the thighs, they thin, they taper down as they come to the knees. And they cross the knee, the front of the knee, the kneecap, to the shin, below the knee. The patella, the kneecap, and the backs of the knees. And the lower legs falling out of the knee, attached to the knee. Notice the different quality, the different feel of the lower legs. At the front, the shin, there is a muscle here too, but it's mostly bone. The shin bone, the tibia at the front. The front of the legs down to the ankles, the fronts of the feet. And at the back, the fleshy calf muscles. The width of the calf muscle near the knee, and then it goes towards the foot, the Achilles tendon, it becomes a tendon, it thins down, tapers down to the tendon, to the heel, the backs of your heels in contact with the mat. The heels at the back, the ankles in the front. From the fronts of the ankles we come down to the fronts of the feet, and the tendons, noticing the feel of the tendon and the skin of the feet, to the toes, the big toe, the tendons, the bones of the feet, the toenails. Big toe to the little toe, the tops of the feet, the inside of the feet, the arches. Tops of the feet, we go underneath to the sole of the feet, the soles, where we walk, noticing any tension in the feet or the legs, letting it go into the earth. Coming up the inside of the feet, the inside of the ankle, and the inside above the ankle, the Achilles tendon to the calf muscles. Back to the knees again. And inside, the inside of the thighs, to the pelvis. The legs falling out of the pelvis. The front of the pelvis, and the back of the pelvis, the sacrum, and the lower back. And noticing the breath, noticing how everything moves, everything is slightly fluid, noticing our desire to pursue and stay with the more pleasurable sensations. But just noticing this and letting them go. Perhaps also noticing our desire to avoid or reject the less pleasant or painful sensations. But going to meet these also equally with gentleness and softness, releasing into the earth, giving up into the earth, letting go any tension, letting it drain into the earth. The back of the head heavy on the pillow, the shoulders, any tension in the head, letting it go. And the breath, breathing, rising and falling through the chest, the body being gently massaged by the breath, the body being breathed by the breath. 360-degree breathing through every pore of the skin. And giving up into the earth any hardness, any tension, softness, softly melting. Allowing sensations to come into being and pass away moment by moment. And now, very slowly, we're going to bring this body scan practice to a close. Perhaps making small movements with your fingers and toes. This tends to activate the mind, make it go a little faster, stimulates the brain. If you have been in a very relaxed state, alpha wave pattern, feeling the clothes in contact with the skin, feeling the contact of your back on the mat. If you are making small movements, experimenting with very subtle movement in your fingers and toes, and perhaps making these movements a little bit bigger, perhaps the whole of the feet and the ankles, and perhaps making more movements with the hands and the wrists, and circles for the ankles and wrists. You could bend your knees and put your feet on the mat if your legs are straight. And then the knees bent. This can also release the pelvis, and you can make a small movement with your lower back. It is said that the center of the physical energy, physical vitality, is the hara point below the navel. This area around the belly and below the navel, at the front and at the back, the L2-3 area. Feeling the whole pulsation through the body. But slowly we're beginning to draw this practice to a close, yet we can maintain this sense of connection and equilibrium in our body throughout the rest of the activities in our day. If you are making small movements, you can make bigger movements, stretching movements. Just let your body do what it needs to do. It's quite natural. It knows exactly what to do. Movements around the arms and the hips. And slowly opening your eyes, and if you're lying on your back, then slowly turning onto your side. Again, the way to get up is to push yourself up to sitting on one hand, one elbow, bringing your head up last, not first. This is the end of this body scan meditation practice. Yet you can maintain this equilibrium, keep this sense of mindfulness.